On. You hear me? Are we on? Good evening. I don't hear myself. Do you hear myself? You hear me?
It is on.
Oh, you hear me? Oh, okay, thank you. Just the room.
It is on.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Board of Education May 6, 2025 meeting. May I ask everyone to please rise for a Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First, I'd like everyone to please take a moment of silence for Mrs. Gilmore, please. Thank you, and I want to thank our community for the continued support of Mrs. Gilmore's family and the support shown to the community. Thank you. Next up is our approval of our agenda. May I get a motion, please? Mike, second. Katie. Any discussion or questions? All in favor? 7-0. Next up, Superintendent's report. Mr. Poole.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. For the first part of my report, I'm going to turn it over to, I think that's Caitlin all the way down there for the high school report.
Good evening, everyone. I'm excited and honored to be here presenting the high school report. To begin, high school math students led by math teacher Ellen Frazier visited the Simon Center for Geometry and Physics at Stony Brook University on April 23rd. Students attended a lecture titled Math is the Source Code of Human Mind by mathematician at University of California, Berkeley. Last Tuesday, students in adventure education gym classes attended their end-of-year field trip to the Long Island Adventure Park, where they scaled rope courses on aerial trails. Last night, 67 students were inducted into the National Honor Society in an official ceremony. Additionally, the Tri-M Music Honor Society is having its induction ceremony tomorrow evening, where 16 students will be inducted. Congratulations to all. Also, AP exams are underway at the high school and will conclude next Friday. Good luck to all test takers. High school junior Vivian Chow and her team for art design and visual communications placed first in the Skills USA promotional bulletin board contest in New York State and will be representing the state at the Skills USA national event in Atlanta, Georgia in June. Our annual Lax Out Cancer event is this Saturday, May 10th. It's a wonderful event that brings the community together for a great cause. This past weekend, our amazing student athletes competed at the Special Olympics Long Island Spring Games at Plain Edge High School, and they excelled. Go Wildcats! Also, big congratulations to the varsity boys tennis team. They achieved victory in their senior day match after they defeated Mattituck 6-1. Additionally, girls varsity lacrosse came back from their game in Bronxville with a 17-10 win. On May 19th, we will have our commitment ceremony for seniors who plan on continuing to compete in interscholastic sports at the collegiate level. This will be a chance for all athletes to celebrate their commitment with family and friends to play at D1, D2, D3, and junior college level. And that concludes this report. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Caitlin. Just a few other happenings across the district. At the middle school, our spring chorus students recently attended a Long Island Ducks game where Mr. Samante directed the students with songs at the Duck game. So congratulations to them. Over at Wading River, the Bob White quail eggs were placed into the incubators in all 5th grade classrooms, and students are anxiously awaiting their hatching towards the end of next week. Next week at Wading River is Park Week, which is Pick a Reading Partner, where children will have special opportunities to read with their families and even enjoy a podcast of a novel read by the teachers at Wading River School, Stuart Little. Students are also at Wading River getting ready for Field Day, which will be held on Friday, May 16th, with a rain date of Monday, May 19th. Over at Miller Avenue, they are holding their spring book fair this week with an evening session tomorrow night, Wednesday, May 7th. Rollerblading has returned to Miller Avenue phys ed classes. It's been a huge hit. Thank you to our PE teachers, Mr. Bonventuri, Mr. D'Onofrio, and Ms. Chiaramonte for helping make this unit such a success. First grade classes have been visiting the Suffolk County Farm, and kindergarten classes will be visiting the Quag Nature Preserve shortly. And over at Miller Avenue next week is Park Week as well, with a theme of diving into reading with activities based on being under the sea. This evening we have our wonderful music and art recognition night. We have a presentation from our Spark BNL research students, a high school student government presentation, and on the agenda tonight is the approval of tenure for some of our fabulous teachers. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Poole. So, wanted to mention, obviously, this is a very important week. It's Teacher Appreciation Week for those out there. So, to celebrate, we wanted to thank our teachers, acknowledge them for all their great work, recognize you for the huge impact that your teaching efforts not only have here on our children, but the great influence it has on our community. So, if you'd please all join me for a round of applause to let our teachers know how grateful we are. Thank you for that. Feel very fortunate. Next up, we have opportunity for board members. Would anyone like to share anything? Good. Okay, moving right along. Any statements from residents, Ms. Curtius? Okay, very good. Moving right along. So next up will be our student and staff recognition. I'd like to ask Mr. Palese to up to the microphone, please. Welcome. Getting there. You're doing good.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sheridan. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Mia Wentz, who will be performing Liebestraum by Franz Liszt.
think all of us are just incredible. Wow. I'm not even sure what to say. No sheet music. I'm not even sure how long that was, but we would love to start every board meeting like that in the future. Thank you again for such amazing talent and sharing your beautiful music with us tonight. That was great. Next up, I'll have Mr. Meinster come up to start to introduce our music fine arts recognition. Thank you, Mr. Meinster.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. As you can tell, we have quite the talent here in our fine arts department. Amongst the many hats that I have the chance to wear, one of my favorites is serving as the administrator that oversees our fine arts department. I am always blown away by the sheer level of artistic talent that passes through our doors and the amount of time and effort our developing artists place into learning their craft. Refining that talent is the responsibility of our amazing music and art teachers, who spend many, many hours both during and outside of the school day ensuring our students reach their fullest artistic potential. Tonight, I want to start by recognizing our teachers before they, in turn, recognize the extensive list of our students who have participated in a range of exhibits and ensembles across our region and state. And now I would like to invite Mr. Crichton, Mr. Verity, Ms. Mealy, and Mr. Samante to the podium to introduce our students.
Good evening. There are a lot of names, and that is a great, fantastic thing for our district. But because of that, I'm just going to talk about some of the logistics about how we will honor all of these students. In a moment, I'll turn the microphone over to my colleagues who will read the names from their respective schools that they work in. When your name is read, if you could please stand. Once we've completed the reading for all of the names of students in Wading River and in Purdell Middle, we're going to ask all of those students to please move to the back section of the auditorium back there so we can get a picture just to kind of commemorate the evening and your achievements. After that, we will then move on to the high school students. The last thing, and this is one of the least popular things to ever tell an audience that is here to recognize their students. Please hold your applause after each name, otherwise we will be here way too long because this list is extensive. All right? So in Teachers Appreciation Week, I just want to say I'm very appreciative of the staff that I find myself a part of. As a high school teacher, I stand on the backs of all of their work. And the efforts that they put in with their students, I get to reap great rewards from. So I appreciate that so much. I also want to extend our thanks to the board and the district office staff and all of our administrators for their support, because when we need something for the students, we ask, we generally are able to get it. Maybe not immediately, but there's a plan put in place. For example, the refurbishment of that piano that made Mia's performance even better. It's really, it's moving and it's touching to me as an educator. That the administration, the board thinks so highly of the department that you would take that effort for us. We do really appreciate that. And without any further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Mrs. Mealy and Mr. Verity.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mrs. Mealy. Mr. Verity's here with me. As we said, thank you all so much for being here tonight. Thank you for recognizing our wonderful music students and our great staff. And we would not be here if it wasn't for all of you up here on the stage. So thank you so much for all of your support. And I love seeing all my beautiful faces from years in the past that they look so big I don't even recognize them. But we're going to get ready and call out their names. Remember, we're going to hold the applause. But we're so excited that we had such a wonderful, wonderful turnout for students in our LISFA and SCMEA programs this year. I think we had record numbers, right, Mr. Samonte? Yep, record numbers. Okay, so Mr. Verity and I are going to share our list of students that were in SCMEA. We're going to start with first. Okay, so when you hear your name, make sure you stand up nice and proud, okay? All right, Rebecca Boss,
Sophia Bucco,
Gianna Di Silvestri,
Adriana Galli,
Megan Jose,
Chase Joubert,
Evelyn Lockhart,
John Lister,
you said John. Okay, Gavin McKinnon,
Sophie Morera,
Daisy O'Neill,
Alexis Sorrentino,
Emmett Stadler,
Aubrey Sullivan,
Aiden Thomas,
Elliot Thomas,
Samuel Wozni.
and Olivia Zylowski.
Those are our SCMEA students from band, orchestra, and chorus from Wading River School. Thank you. And now I'd like to read off the list for students for Mrs. Fasano's class students that are here tonight. Would you please stand when I call your name? Elliot Thomas, Evelyn Lockhart, John Lister, and Sophie Morera. Congratulations, all of our Wading River students.
I'd like to turn the mic over to Mr. Samante, who will read all of the names for the middle school.
Thank you. That was so nice. Okay. Hi, everybody. Not only do I get to, share this honor with all the amazing accomplishments of their students, but not just as a choir director, but also as the president-elect of the Suffolk County Music Association. It's really an honor to just really celebrate all our students' success here. We had 98 students accepted into these honor ensembles between grades 5 through 10, which, out of the context of all of Suffolk County, we ranked 8th out of 85 school districts across Suffolk County, and earned the 3rd highest amount of accepted students all across Eastern Suffolk County, which is an amazing accomplishment. Like the rest of my department said, it really isn't. It's not us. We do our job. We want to make sure we give the kids the best experience possible, but it really does fall on the backs of our students' hard work, our families that support our kids, our incredible Board of Ed and administration that really helps these programming stay alive and thrive. So, for me and the rest of our department, thank you so much. I'm gonna name the students that were in LISFA from the middle school, and if I mispronounce your name, I'm really sorry. There's a lot of names. So from LISFA, we have Sophia Tashenko, Ali Korsikis, Alexis Yao, Owen Schwartz, and Zachary Lister from LISFA. And all right, here we go. So our Division I East Orchestra, we had McKenna DeMayo, Kiara Holt, Sophia Tashenko. In our Division I East Band, we had Ashley Esnes, Julia Lynn Hewer, Alyssa Pollock, Emily Ryba, Madison Tees, Nicholas Oliveri, Joseph Polera, Andrew Molinelli, and Jonathan Sarcone. Sorry. There's a lot, so we can, In our Division I East Chorus, we have Stella Buckley, Emily Neff, Nora Anderson, Charlotte Jacarico, Ariana Carnavale, Brody Kalita, and Aubrey Goller. Don't you worry. We're ramping it up here. We're doing great. Division II East Orchestra, we had Sophia Dean, Adeline Capisser, Victoria Hamilton, Ethan Wang, Tristan Tamsick, and Kenzo Wentz. And then for Division II East Band, we had Faith McKiernan, Brenda Molinelli, Gavin Molinelli, Samuel Marceau, Eiley Korsikis, Griffin Schwartz, and Gianna Horsford. We're almost there. Division II East Chorus, we have Linda Hu, Elena Blanchard, Eve Calvert, Hazel Presser, Nina Hateau, Maylin Torrey, Rowan Heavey, Abigail Campbell, Lily Roca, Kira Conklin, Lydia Gorniak, Valentina LaGrassa, Hannah Larson, Abigail Brown, Arabella Evans, Joshua Paranello, Kevin Kozak, Grayson Vescovo, Zachary Lister, Jameson Ochoa, Jackson Cosgrove, Owen Schwartz, and last but not least, Braden Zedwalk. And I think now is the golden opportunity to get their photos. So if we can have our elementary and middle school students meet in the back corner where that nice red flashing light is. Yeah. And then I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Creighton. Thank you.
we'll take a moment here, Mr. Sheridan. Do they want to hold, or do we keep going? Or elementary school, if you could move back to the back corner for your photo. It is my honor to read the names of the students in the high school that were selected into the various ensembles. I'd like to start with All-County Jazz. For vocal All-County Jazz, Scamia, we had Jake Donnelly and Kate McQuaid. For instrumental All-County Jazz, we had, we had Liam McQuaid and Leighton Manjamili. Scamia students, these are students who are in 9th or 10th grade. This is the honors ensemble in 9th and 10th grade. So those students were Grace Gallagher, Kai Hidaka, Mairead Jaffe, Connor Kalita, Aliana Kurtz, Graydon Luck, Ian Margiota Watts, Kate McQuaid, Theodore Misawa, Timothy Negrell, Clara Peterson, McKenna Ryan, Aiden Wang, Mia Wentz, and Tim Worthington. Our NISCAME students, these are the students in 11th and 12th grade who participated in honors ensembles. Analia Clemente, Natalie Cortina, Jake Donnelly, Lila Grasso, Abigail Haverty, Ava Hernandez, Ray Hidaka, Eden Hu, Riley Keneally, Leighton Manjamili, Liam McQuaid, Damian Perez, Aubrey Russo, Kyle Schiff, Charlie Tacky, Forrest Teppenhart, and Aaron Vetter. And last but not least are students that were selected into the different LISFA ensembles. At the high school level, it is split as well, 9, 10, and 11, 12. These students are Aiden Wang, Clara Peterson, Damian Perez, Kai Hidaka, Ray Hidaka, and Spencer Lee. So we're going to ask those students to wait. There's going to be another presentation related to music and art for the high school, and then we will go up and get that picture at that point in time. I believe I'm supposed to throw it to Mr. Pugliese. Should I throw it to Frank? Should I throw it to Frank for Scholar Artist?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Please welcome to the podium for our Scholar Artist presentations this evening, Mr. Frank Pugliese, our principal.
Well, thank you again. Mr. Poole, District Office Administration, Mr. Sheridan, and the Board of Education for allowing me to be here tonight. It is my great pleasure to announce the 2024-25 winners of our Scholar, Fine, and Performing Arts Award. For those of you that are unaware of what this award represents, this award was modeled after the NISFA, the New York State Public High School Athletic Association's Scholar Athlete Award. So we kind of took what NISFA had already laid out, which was a 90 or better weighted GPA, with participation obviously on a varsity athletic team. For our fine and performing art recognition, again, using that same model, using that 90, but instead of athletics, we keyed that into all of our extracurricular activities in the area of fine and performing arts. So, like I said, tonight we are going to recognize over 80 students who have maintained a weighted GPA of 90 or higher at the end of the third marking period and contributed significantly to an extracurricular program in the area of art, literature, music, and/or theater. These students have graced our stage both in front and behind the curtain, have produced amazing artwork displayed in local and regional art shows, and/or have made significant contributions to our student publications. These students should be so proud of how their hard work and talent reflects upon themselves, their families, and upon our school and community. As we know, none of this is possible without an incredibly supportive superintendent and district office team working in tandem with our Board of Education. Thank you for your leadership and tireless support. Thank you to the parents and extended families of the students honored here tonight. Talent must be nurtured, and from an early age, all of you parents saw a talent in your child and made sure they had what they needed to be successful. A huge thank you, as already referenced multiple times tonight, to our incredible teaching staff for all of their spirited guidance and encouragement for our students. And last but not least, I'd like to bring up Ms. Grasso and a sincere note of gratitude to WHAM, our Wildcats Helping Art and Music, for always advocating for our arts and music program. Your support is very, very much appreciated.
Thank you, Mr. Pugliese. Everything that has been said this evening, I would just like to echo those sentiments. First of all, we are incredibly lucky to have an administration, Mr. Poole, our Board of Education, and all of our administrators that are truly supportive of the fine and performing arts. Our faculty, obviously, top-notch. You don't produce these kinds of awards from elementary school all the way through the high school without having an incredibly talented faculty that is able to cultivate the talents in our students, and we are so incredibly grateful for them. Your work does not go unnoticed by any parent or any student in the arts, ever. I just would like you to know that. And lastly, a thank you to our students who obviously work very hard not only at their craft, whether it's art or music or theatrical pursuits, but in everything they do. It's incredibly difficult to maintain a 90% average if that's all you're doing with all of your free time. These kids, in addition to that, dedicate their time and effort to what they love in the arts. So I want to say a special congratulations to all of our students, especially our scholar artists, and thank you for letting me share my sentiments.
Okay, so it is now my pleasure. Hold on tight, we got about 80 or so names, and we have a decent number that are in attendance. So students, if you are here tonight and your name is called, you're going to approach the stage to my left-hand side, walk across, and then end up in the rear to be able to take a group photo. Again, once you've received your certificate, you're going to be seated in the back corner. So starting, and again, like Mr. Creighton said earlier, if we could hold our applause until the end. Giovanna Assetto, Jake Bodenberg, Juliet Bose, Lucas Brand, Andrew Brennan, Courtney Butkov, Alexandra Calandrillo, Joseph Calandrillo, Leah Carberry, Alexei Chernikov, Analia Clementi, Kaylee Colantropo, Jack Como, Julia Corso, Zachary Cote, Avery DeBono, Ava Durfree, Lauren Galucci, Lauren Golfo, Lila Grasso, Lily Hajagalu, Abigail Haverty, Ella Hendry, Ava Hernandez, Kai Hidaka, Ray Hidaka, Zachary Higgins, Ryan Huang, Celine Hunt, Emily Ingracia, Chloe Yeager, Logan Young, Carmela Kaiser, Riley Keneally, Isla Copps, Spencer Lee, Andy Licata, Charles Licata, Harley Lascalzo, Kevin Lascalzo, Leighton Mangiamili, Ian Marietta Watts, Anna Marino, Emily Martinez, Jacob Masulo, Madeline Meyer, Everett McClintock, Ella McNally, Kate McQuaid, Liam McQuaid, Avery Mendelson, Emily Miltz, Ashley Miltz, Emily Minetti, Anna Minetti, Lee Minty, Theodore Masawa, Lisa Masawa, Alexa Mons, Jocelyn Nastasi, Timothy Nigrell, Giovanna Olivio, Clara Peterson, Charles Peterson, Megan Penzick, Damian Perez, Jillian Portuguese, Israel Salgado, Caitlin Schaefer, Nathan Schaefer, Isabel Sherrill, Kyle Schiff, Leah Serio, Demetria Saras, Hayden Shea, Colin Sheridan, Gabriella Smith, Charles Tacky, Nikki Troisi, Aaron Vetter, Aiden Wang, Andrew Wicks, Alyssa Wood, and Timothy Worthington. A huge round of applause for our 2024-2025 Scholar Fine Arts recipients.
Yeah, I think if you were eligible for it.
So true, Jerry.
I was not that long on it as a kid.
Neither was I. I was a single thread. I was single thread, yeah, I can handle multiple things. These kids are definitely built different.
Amazing.
We could just give them a moment. Trying to fix these. Should I introduce Mr. Falcelli, or do I is Alan going to introduce him? I introduced Alan. Should I have Alan come back and introduce him?
No, you can invite John.
Okay, yeah, okay, good. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. All right, that was great. I'm just giving them, moving on. All right, Mike's telling me to move on. All right.
I'm glad so many came out. It's nice.
Yeah, me too. Give me 10 seconds. Give me a second.
I mean, you may have some overlap with parents and then kids in music and sport.
I'll just wait another second.
Have a good night. Bye. You too.
That's like symphonic or whatever you call it, like the next level. All right, I'm gonna resume this. Is that all right? You think that can move along? Thank you. All right, we're good? Congratulations again. So next up, under our student and staff recognitions, happy to bring up Mr. Joseph Palicelli for our Spark B&L research update. Mr. Palicelli. I thought I'd have you introduce.
Yeah, no, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to highlight our students and the progress Ms. Shaver keeps making in our...
Hold you 1 second. I'm just going to give them a second to clear the room. Sorry, Mr. Palicelli. I just want to be able to hear you. I thought they were clearing out. I want to give this my undivided attention. Okay, I think you could probably go now.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you again for the opportunity to highlight all the progress Ms. Schaefer is making with our science research program. Tonight, we're going to highlight some of the students and some of their accomplishments. Ms.
Very
Schaefer.
good. Welcome, Ms. Schaefer.
Hi, thank you all for having us out again. It's always nice to kind of round out the end of the year and let you know what we've been working on and busy with throughout the entire year, and it's been a busy one. The last time that we saw you, let's see if I can make this go. In the fall, we were getting ready to have our 4 seniors down in the bottom there applying for the Regeneron Science Talent Search. So Anna Minetti, Juliana O'Neill, Katie Schaefer, and Sasha Soletskaya. So this was the second year that we've had students advanced enough to apply for the competition. And it was an intensive few months for them, for sure, but it was a really great way for them to showcase their work, to reflect upon their development as scientists, and to really create a portfolio that they can take along with them for when they move on to college, which is nice for them as well. Over the winter, you see one of our second year Spark students there presenting at the middle school. We did our annual recruitment where we bring all 4 years of the students down to Pradell, and they share some of their experiences, some of their successes, and just encouragement for the 8th graders that are interested in STEM to kind of pursue and take a chance on the Intro to Research program. So we're hoping that we have a nice turnout for that next year, and that will continue to grow and strengthen the program. And then we dive into competition season, and any science research teacher will tell you that that is the crux of the stress and anxiety for the next several months. Usually begins somewhere around November, December, and continues all the way through April or May. So this year we entered into the Junior Science and Humanities Symposium, or JSHS, for the first time. So we submitted their research papers in November. We had 3 of our seniors submitting for that. Sasha Soletskaya and Juliana O'Neill were selected for the regional symposium to present at York College in February.
Oh, wow.
So that was a great experience for us. And then moving into January, Anna Minetti and Juliana O'Neill both entered the New York State Science and Engineering Fair. So there was a round one video presentation, and then from there, they were among the 40% of round one applicants that moved on and were invited back for round two, and they presented in person at the New York Hall of Science in March. And Juliana walked away with the Stockholm Water Prize for her work analyzing microplastics in eastern mud snails from the Wading River salt marsh. That was an exciting day for her. And then we had 2 days of the Long Island Science Congress. So pictured up there are our junior division competitors from our Intro to Research program. So I have actually joined the committee as the junior division judge coordinator as of this year, so that's been an exciting experience for me. Between the junior division and senior division, we had 12 projects. So that was a wonderful experience for all the students at the Cradle of Aviation Museum, which is a lovely venue to have a science competition at. And I just found out this afternoon that our third year, Alex Tishenko, has actually been invited to the annual award ceremony for Long Island Science Congress for a recognition of a special award that has yet to be named for his project looking at lithium-ion batteries and they're under different environmental conditions. That's exciting news that he'll find out tomorrow. And then we move out of the intense competition into just some symposia where the students share some of their work. So last week we had the NSLS2 users meeting. That's Alex pictured there, presenting his lithium-ion battery work there. We had 7 posters from Spark projects at the users meeting, and we had 2 poster contest winners for that particular symposium, Sasha being one of them, and then Juliana O'Neill the other. And then we'll round out the year with the Brookhaven Science Symposium on March 21st, where again, Spark students will present, as well as a day in the life of the Peconic Estuary, which is an annual field trip that we have every October. So our students are going to present the work that they did there. And then our last, more casual, relaxed atmosphere is our annual Science Research Showcase, which is June 5th in the library after school. So the parents are welcome to come and hear their students talk about what they worked on. We're going to do a poster session this year for the first, second, and third years, and then the fourth years will present a portfolio as a graduating senior in STEM from our district. And the big exciting news for the year, and very stressful, is the title that's up on the slide and the purple journal that's illustrated up there is the submission of our first scientific manuscript. It was the love child of our time at the pond, mostly dominated by Jalel Sawas in the class of 2021 and Derek Blanco from the last year's class of 2024. So we submitted the manuscript to the Quantum Beam Science Journal. We went through 2 rounds of peer editing, which is no joke in the scientific community, and we had 2 very intense rounds of revisions to be made, and we're currently awaiting final acceptance from the editor. So that's been some exciting news for us.
It is very exciting.
So I brought 3 students with me this evening to share a little bit about their research this year. Spencer Lee is a second year, and he's been doing some work through Spark with IR spectroscopy and X-ray spectroscopy, so he'll talk about that. Ray Hidaka is a third year. He's going to share 2 projects that he's actually been working on this year. One is following his interest in medicine, and the other is a collaborative or campaign project with some Spark students from other school districts. And then finally, Sasha Soletskaya will share a bit of her work in her final year of the research program. So I'm going to turn it over to Spencer.
Very good. Welcome.
Hello, I'm Spencer, and once again, I'm in my second year science research. And thank you. Also, so basically, my research I did this year was a comparison of microplastic identification and quantification in common and exotic meat. So basically, what that means is basically just seeing the different types of microplastics and the amount of microplastics that were found in common and exotic meat. And if you've seen anything about the news, microplastics have been seen to be in a lot of foods, which could be bad for human health by consuming them. But not a lot of research has been done on exotic meat, so I thought it would have been an interesting topic to see the comparison and see if there's any difference. So basically how my project was done was basically, first I separated the surface of the meat. Oh wait, first of all, I used goose and ostrich as my exotic meats, and then chicken and turkey as my common meats. So basically, we just like bought the meats, but then we separated the surface and the inside of the meat to see if there was any difference also between the surface and the inside. And then basically we use acids and bases to dissolve the meats. And then we filter that through like a vacuum onto filter papers to be able to like get the microplastics. And then once we did that, we went to Brookhaven National Lab to IR spectroscopy, which is like a microscope, you know, to see what type of microplastics we got. And yeah, so basically our results is there wasn't too much of a correlation between exotic and common meat, but there was a lot of microplastics found on the surface of the meats. So, I mean, it just showed almost all the meats that were packaged in plastic. So basically, that means like packaging plays a major role in having microplastics on meats. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Very good.
Thank you.
Sounds very interesting. Thank you. Thank you, Spencer.
Hello, my name is Ray Hidaka. I am a junior and this is my third year in science research class. So this year I did 2 projects simultaneously. So the first project I did a research on the benefits of CGM in a non-ICU hospital setting. I basically did a review of public data sets online. Just in case you didn't know, CGM is a continuous glucose monitor. It's a method to track your blood in real time, day and night, and it helps specifically for people with diabetics. It manages your glucose levels. And so why I chose this research is because I want to be, in the future I want to be like a doctor. I'm interested in the medical field, so I want to do something related to that. And CGM is not FDA approved in hospital settings yet, so I wanted to show the benefits of CGM. So online, I found 3 peer-reviewed clinical studies, and I basically gathered those data from all 3 of them and did a descriptive analysis. And what I found was some of the results I found were that CGM lowers average glucose levels in the blood, had an increased time in range, in the targeted range where you want like the glucose levels for the diabetic people. And also there's a reduced time in hyperglycemia. There's fewer and shorter hypoglycemic events. CGM group had less hypoglycemic episodes per patient, and the events during those durations were much shorter than people with, I forgot to mention, but other than CGM, the traditional method is just a test sticking method where you just poke your blood and you get the screenshot of basically your glucose levels. So yeah, event durings were shorter, and there's a better detection of hidden hypoglycemic events, especially like since the traditional testing method, you have to do it manually, while CGM is continuous, it's real time, so it goes through during your nighttime when you're sleeping, so it checks your blood levels during those times, so you can find those, you can notice those missing dangerous fluctuations. And if you didn't know, I forgot to mention this too, but if you didn't know what hyperglycemia is, it's when your blood level is really too high and it could increase infection risk and impairs healing. Hypoglycemia is when your blood level is really low and cause confusion, falls, or even cardiac events. So in all result, so some of the clinical advantages of CGM I found were that it allows much faster interventions and improves safety of the patients in the hospitals. So the other campaign project I did was with part of the SPARK program, where I did a research with other students in the SPARK program. They were from West Islip, and basically the campaign research this year was on how plants, invasive plants, can be used in fertilizers. And before that, we wanted to like create a mineral library for the for like finding the minerals in the soils of the plant fertilizers we're going to use. And so we made a mineral library using gypsum, limestone, and feldspar. These are like just common minerals in the soil. And so we used the XPD, the X-ray powder diffraction beamline at BNL, Brookhaven National Lab, used to identify the diffraction pattern. If you didn't know, X-ray powder diffraction is used to identify crystalline materials and determine their structure. And each mineral, each sample produces a diffraction pattern unique to each material. So we can use that to identify these minerals. And this library will serve as a comparison tool for evaluating how invasive plant fertilizers influence soil mineral composition. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ray.
Hi, I'm Sasha, and I'm a senior and fourth year in the Science Research Program, and today I will be discussing some of my accomplishments in the past year as a science research student. So to begin, for the past nearly 3 years at this point, I have been working on a project where I've been comparing the chemical and mineralogical composition of a meteorite called the NWA 748 to another meteorite called the Murchison, in order to determine the viability of the NWA as a vessel for life's components. So with this project, I've presented at numerous competitions and conferences, including this year's Junior Science and Humanities Symposium Regional Semifinals. And currently, I am working on making the final revisions on a paper detailing this research, which we plan on submitting to the Journal of Earth, Space, and Planets. In addition to finishing up my meteorite research, I also started another project which has been exploring the potential for heavy metal toxicity in commercial clay masks that people use for skincare. So the clays in these masks are often sourced from regions where metals can, where the soil also contains heavy metals. So these metals can latch onto the clay molecules and can then be absorbed through the skin if they are not removed properly, and can lead to many detrimental effects, including in the most severe cases, organ failure. So from the data I collected, I did find elements in some samples that should not have been present, which signifies to me that they did not go through the proper removal or filtration process. However, more analysis needs to be done in order to determine the extent to which these elements are dangerous. So with this project, I participated in the Brookhaven National Laboratory Users Meeting poster session, for which I was named one of the winners, along with one of the other science research students from our school, Juliana O'Neill. And to wrap up, I would just like to say a couple words about the program. So beyond helping me become well-equipped for future research endeavors in college and beyond, the science research program has served as a way for my passion for science to run wild. I am forever grateful for the experiences and opportunities with which this program has provided me, and I sincerely believe that it will continue to help other Shoreham-Wading River students grow their curiosity and love for science just as it has for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sasha.
All right, so as you can see, it's been a really busy year. We've had quite a bit going on. And one of the things that I love the most, and you know, I'm going to speak as a teacher appreciating my students during Teacher Appreciation Week. I love my job. I love everything that I do for my job, and I love that these are the kids that I get to work with, and this is what I get to do every day. So being a science research teacher is, for me, like being a kid in a candy shop, and getting to go to Brookhaven Lab and getting to take my kids to these opportunities to share their work is just such a joy, and it really just brings such amazing happiness to me each and every day when I come through these doors. So I can't thank you all enough. I know we ask for a lot as a program. We're always asking to go to different places and present at different conferences, and I'm taking on more of that each year because it's my passion, and I want to share that with the district as well as my students, but I could not do it without all of your support. So I just want to thank you all so much for being there and supporting our program as it grows and develops. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. I think it goes without saying, Mrs. Schaefer, we've watched you for the number of years that you've been managing this program. It's just one of those enrichment opportunities that, in listening to the students tonight, Spencer, Sasha, and Ray, thank you so much for sharing. I learned more about microplastics, CGM, continuous glucose monitoring, which I didn't even know about, and meteorite research. It's amazing, just these opportunities, the enrichment that you bring, and I'm so glad the kids are enjoying it. This is great.
Tom, I'll point out, because I mean, CGM is something that we live by as a family. We have 3 type 1 diabetics. So When my first child was diagnosed, Ray, you know Brandon, 7 months of sleepless nights and anxiety as a parent because you didn't have the technology to be able to watch and monitor him real time. I can tell you it was life altering when we were able to leverage that technology. And so without that, I think that everything that you guys are doing, it's phenomenal. Keep doing it. Keep showing passion and interest. But that's something that certainly that I live with every day. So I appreciate you putting some time and effort into really like researching that and making it better for those parents and the people that actually, including a member of our board that do have type 1.
Thank you again. It was really great. Very good. Okay, next up, we have our high school student government, Mr. Palese. Thank you again, everyone. Yeah, very impressive.
Ooh, I gotta catch my breath. Thank you all very much. It is now my pleasure. Who am I introducing? Mr. Lilla. Mr. Lilla and our representatives from our student government are very happy to be here tonight to speak of all the wonderful things that have happened in the high school over the course of the start of the year and what we have planned for the remainder of the year. So, Mr. Lilla?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I'm here tonight also as a faculty advisor for one of the student government organizations here at the high school. And accompanying me is our student body president, Trey Dietz, and our student body vice president, Anthony Mango, as they are here to highlight some of the different activities that they've planned out throughout this school year to try to build some school spirit, but also to try to create just some different opportunities for the students and the staff to have some fun together. So without further ado, I'll let them take it away.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Trey Dietz, and I'm the student government president, and this is Anthony Mango, the student government vice president. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to share of the wonderful activities that our student government has hosted throughout the year. The first event of the year that the student government planned for was the homecoming. Homecoming arrived earlier than usual, but the enthusiasm and creativity of our student government, combined with an unwavering support of the PTSA, transformed this challenge into an opportunity for innovation. Our Spirit Week was a testament to student creativity and participation. Each day saw its own unique energy to our halls. Pajama Monday saw everyone embracing comfort while staying focused on learning. Jersey Tuesday united us in celebrating both professional and school athletics. The surprise hit of the week was undoubtedly Adam Sandler Day, where students challenged their inner Adam Sandler with super baggy shirts, shorts, and backwards hats that Adam Sandler is known for. The week culminated in Class Color Day, Neon Edition, where the halls glowed with school spirit. The student body was surveyed to ensure that every student's voice was heard in shaping our celebrations. The competition events exceed all expectations. Students threw themselves into intense rounds of Hungry Hungry Hippos, showcasing both athleticism. The limbo competition tested flexibility and determination, while the summer relay races filled our gym with laughter and cheers. Knockout brought the best basketball skills, and the Mummify a Teacher event created unforgettable memories. The traditional tug-of-war matches demonstrated incredible class unity and strength. These activities weren't just games, they were opportunities for building class spirit and creating lasting memories. This past December, we transformed our school into a winter wonderland with a grade-level tree decorating competition. Each grade had the opportunity to showcase their creativity and teamwork. Students and staff donated old decorations. The tree contest saw the junior class come out on top with the trophy generously donated by the PTSA. The 5th annual home-based door decorating contest turned our hallways into a festive gallery of student artistry and imagination. The theme this year was holiday movies and shows. Movies such as Home Alone, Christmas Story, Christmas Vacation, and The Grinch Who Stole Christmas were amongst the movies that were represented in our halls. Home bases did a tremendous job, and it was Miss Sanders' home base that came out on top and won the bagel party.
January 24th was a day to remember with our faculty volleyball pep rally. Students cheered on their favorite teachers in friendly competition. New this year was the addition of a 4th team. In addition to winning the faculty volleyball championship trophy, each team will be representing a grade level. The winning team will gain control of the spirit stick for that grade level. Grade levels selected their captain in a random drawing during daily announcements during home base prior to the pep rally. The faculty volleyball game was won by the freshman team, coached by our freshman class president and captain, Mr. Ackerman. These events are designed to brighten the winter months and strengthen our school community. This year, the student government introduced a student-teacher after-school badminton tournament. Students were able to select a teacher and enter a double elimination badminton tournament. We had over 20 student-teacher teams participate in this event. Teams planned coordinated outfits, picked funny team names, and really displayed the kind of school spirit that the student government is looking to promote. This tournament was won by Ray Hidaka and Ms. Schaefer in a highly competitive event. For the spring, we currently have a powder puff flag football tournament that has been planned out. Over the upcoming weeks, we look forward to finding a date to reschedule the fun event and to find out which grade level will come out with the Spirit Stick at the end of the year. Each of these events represents our commitment to creating a vibrant, inclusive school environment where every student can find their place to participate. We would like to thank all the students for their participation and everyone for their support with each event. We are confident that with each event, we will continue to build upon the success of the prior event and increase participation, making each event even more memorable. Thank you.
Thanks, Anthony. Thanks again, Trey and Anthony. You're obviously, the work that you've put in is the outcome that we see, the school spirit, and I appreciate all that you have brought. Sounds like there was a lot of great opportunities for students and staff to all interact and have a great time. So sounds like there's some more things planned for the year, so keep up the great work. Thank you. Okay. Next up, we have our tenure recognitions with Mr. Ryan Hayward.
Congratulations. It is my pleasure to introduce teachers who have successfully completed their probationary period and have been awarded, will be awarded tenure this evening. As you know, it is a very significant step in one's career in education, and we wish you all the best in all the years to come. So our first honoree is Michaela Berg for Family and Consumer Sciences. Then Brendan Gilly, English. Taylor Anderson, Physical Education. Samantha Papa, Special Education. Fallon Moshiki, Psychologist. Amy Schwab, Special Education. And Kara Barron, Special Education.
Congratulations. 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 Katie, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Tomorrow, get some melanoma cut out of my back tomorrow.
Is that right?
Yep. I'm sure it'll go well.
still have a cookie now.
Never done.
Okay. So far, it's been a really wonderful night. The student and staff recognition and seeing and witnessing firsthand what our teachers, students, and staff are up to, really tremendous. Next up, under our reports and reviews, is our 2025-2026 budget hearing. We have the famous Mr. Glenn Arcuri, Assistant Superintendent of Finance and Operations, to close out our budget hearing reports. To you, Mr. Arcuri.
Good evening. Thank you. I would like to thank the only audience member here tonight, Mr. Louis Parinello tonight, here to support the budget hearing. So thank you. It is important to note the 25-26 proposed budget maintains all of the programs that are in the current year's budget, and it is aligned to the strategic plan, maintains current class size, includes funding for additional field trips, technology and conferences, software and subscriptions, includes funding to replace 12 smart boards, add 6 contracted armed guards, as well as cover the increase related to the transportation contract. It reflects reductions in contingent funds, and where prudent, reduce budget codes to align closer to actual expenditure amounts. Increases the use of appropriated fund balance, increases the amount of debt service fund applied to the budget, and as in years past, uses funds from the Teachers Retirement System reserve as a revenue source. The tax levy limit is 1.9571%, or an increase in a little more than $1,150,000. We are not looking to pierce. It is a simple majority vote, 50% plus 1. The proposed budget year-to-year expenditure increase is 1.29%, or $1,140,611. In previous budget presentations, we covered each of these categories in great detail. The most notable change in this year's budget relates to the transportation section. There is a material increase related to our new awarding of the transportation contract. There was only a single respondent, but we're very satisfied with their services, and the district is entering into a 5-year contract with them. The proposed budget in a 3-part form, administrative component reflects an increase of a little bit more than 11%. The capital component reflects a decrease that is attributable to the removal of the transfer to capital fund line. That was a single budget line that was included in the 24-25 budget. And the program budget reflects an increase almost equal to the dollar increase of the administrative component, or a 2.13% increase. Again, a net expenditure increase of 1.29%. Looking at the expenditure budget as well as the revenue budget, the tax levy, as I had mentioned, reflects a 1.9571% increase. The state aid numbers, again, are still from the January executive budget. The state has not finalized their budget yet, so we are still looking at a slight reduction of $203,717. Other local revenue reflects a slight increase, and as I had mentioned earlier, there is increased use of appropriated fund balance to balance the budget. There is additional reserves for employee retirement system reserve, same amount as previous year. Teachers retirement system, $565,000, and unemployment workers' compensation reserve, the same value as the previous year, and an increased use of the debt service fund. Total revenue, 1.29% increase, the same increase as the expenditure budget. Contingent budget, again, if the voters do not support the budget on May 20th, the Board of Education has the ability to put another budget up for the voters to consider the third Tuesday in June. If the voters do not support that budget, then the district's required to adopt a contingent budget. Contingent budget requires that the tax levy remains at the 24-25 value, requires that all equipment funding is removed from the budget, requires that the administrative cap limitation is also met. Typically, we do not discuss the contingent budget in very great detail, other than these particular items at this point. Any questions on either the expenditure budget or the contingent budget? Again, a little bit of history, 2.47% year-to-year expenditure average over a 6-year period, and the tax levy is a 1.75% 6-year average. The budget has been presented five different times prior to today at Public Board of Education meetings, has been presented at the Shoreham Civic Association meeting on April 23rd, presented at the Wading River Civic Association April 24th. We had reached out to Leisure Glen, Leisure Village for an opportunity to present the budget there. They said that it wasn't necessary. And the budget vote is May 20th here inside the high school gym, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Also on the ballot will be Proposition 2, relating to asking permission to spend funds that the district already has inside of its capital reserve account, a little less than $7 million. And the voters are asked to look at this proposition in its entirety. All of these projects have been bundled together. After the Space and Facilities Committee reviewed over $30 million worth of projects, they have narrowed it down to the following projects: Miller Avenue classroom ceiling lighting replacement in 14 classrooms, Wading River partial exterior window and door replacement. It is important to note the windows that are being replaced there are original to the building, as well as the classroom ceilings and lighting inside the Miller Avenue building is original to the building. The middle school science rooms and RISE classroom interior renovations, these spaces are also original to the building. There are seven classrooms that the district is looking for funding to renovate those spaces. The district is also looking for funding to replace the existing synthetic turf that is on our existing synthetic turf field known as the Kootenella Field at the high school, as well as add additional drainage and resurface the existing track. So there is no additional new construction that the district is asking for funding for these particular projects. The district is asking to replace either original casework, original lighting, original windows, and it's also looking for funding to continue the maintenance needed to keep the existing synthetic field in full operation. In addition, the district is seeking funding to support a district-wide technology project replacement program. I'm going to go over a couple of the items that it is covered. Again, the capital reserve expenditure proposition, you guys have heard me read this a number of times. Anyone have any specific questions on the proposition language?
I'm glad you called out, Mr. Curie, the replacement of the synthetic turf as more or less is a maintenance project than anything.
Correct. It is just purely a maintenance project. It is not a reconstruction project. None of the projects we are doing are new construction projects. They are 100% maintenance in nature. These are just a couple of pictures. You could see the original classroom lighting and ceilings in the Miller Avenue building. As far as the Wading River building, you could see that the white aluminum windows, these are residential style windows. They should not have been put inside of the building, but at that time, an aluminum clad window was just what they choose to use, and they are well exceeded their useful life in this particular building. The emergency windows are still operational. However, as they are part of the old window system, they will also be replaced as part of this project. The windows are original to the building. There is some deterioration on some of the exterior doors. Again, this is down at the ground level. Years and years of floor maintenance typically cause this type of deterioration, purely due to age. Prodell Middle School, you'll see a lot of the science classrooms, again, original to the building. And you'll see the pictures on the right. These are renovated middle school science classrooms that were done in 2010 as part of a 2010 project. They have held up great. The students and staff take very good care of these spaces throughout our school buildings. So it is just a wonderful opportunity if the voters support this project to continue to improve the instructional environments that our students attend school in. The pictures on the right reflect the high school RISE classroom that we're hoping to get the middle school RISE classroom to replicate. As far as the synthetic turf field, again, this was a field funded within funds from the 2015 voter-approved bond referendum, and we are seeking funding to replace any of the green turf that you see inside of the picture. Anything green and anything red, we are looking as part of our ongoing maintenance to the district facilities. That's what we are seeking funding for, as well as between where the red and green meet to add a drainage system due to these very out of the norm rainfalls, as opposed to having standing water there, which does impact the field. It is better to collect the water, drain it properly. As far as the technology, again, the district needs technology. The entire system runs on it now. It is no longer about chalk and a chalkboard and a pencil and paper. So in order to continue to stay in front of having technology failures, it is important to secure funding in order to support a 5-year plan, 3-year plan, in order to roll out and always stay in front of any type of technology failures. So we are asking for funding that would assist the district in replacing printers, replace the building management system for the HVAC software, iPads and covers, network switches, uninterruptible power supply appliances, additional PCs that will replace existing PCs, additional Mac computers, again, that are going to replace existing computers. The last technology proposition that was supported by the voters was in 2012. So it's 13 years later when we're truly asking for a large-scale technology upgrade. So we've been able to maintain the systems from 2012 to current, However, now it's time to just try to ask for additional funding so we can continue to keep our systems operating correctly. There are some virtual infrastructure and storage devices, firewalls, as well as a laptop replacement program. Any questions on Proposition 2? And as for Proposition 3, we are almost fully funded in Proposition 2 of the Capital Reserve. The Capital Reserve only has a maximum amount of $7.5 million, and we would have already funded it a little less than $6.8 million. So the district is asking the voters to support establishing a capital reserve account. Again, we need permission from the voters to establish a capital reserve. We put funding into the capital reserve, whether it comes from budgetary appropriations or transfers from other reserve accounts, or transfers from surplus funds at the end of a given school year. After a project has been developed, usually by the Space and Facilities Committee, that has been the process to date, we then ask the voters for permission to spend those funds in order to complete those projects. So this capital reserve, like the 2017 and 2021, has a $7.5 million maximum value and has a maximum life of 10 years. Any questions on Proposition 3? Again, as I had previously read the ballot language, any questions on the ballot language? As far as budget presentation information from past presentations or the budget book detail for 25-26, it can be found under the parents and guardians sections on the district website, as well as on the district website under departments. If you happen to pick the business department, there are past independent external audit reports, internal audit reports, district reserve balance reports, New York State school funding transparency reports, as well as the comptroller's reports on the district. Now, in order to comply with Section 203 of the Voting Rights Act, the district is required to provide this budget hearing info inside of Spanish. So all of the following slides have been prepared in Spanish, and our budget book is also on the district website in Spanish. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to hear it in Spanish? Nope. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. O'Keefe. Next up will be our votes and resolutions. First is our approval of our April 23rd, 2025 regular public meeting minutes. May I get a motion? Jim, second. So Jim Lockhart, Jim Smith. Any discussion or questions? All in favor? 7-0.
No.
Oh, Mike, you have a question?
I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there? Sorry, okay. So 6-0. Okay, all right. So it'll be 5-0-2. Thank you. Thank you. 5-0-2. Georgia, you got that? Good, okay. Next up will be our approval of our policies, second reading and to adopt as presented. May I get a motion? Megan, second Katie. Any discussion or questions on these? Okay, all in favor? 7-0. Next up are our Board of Education resolutions. In this section is 2425211, the adoption of our 2025-26 board meeting calendar. May I get a motion? Henry, second Jim Smith. Any discussions or questions on our board calendar? All in favor? 7-0. Next up is our curriculum and instruction resolutions. In this section, I think there's 3 of them. Yep, there's 3 in this section. 2425212 through 2425214. Okay to take them as a block. Okay. May I get a motion, please? Jim Smith, Henry. Any discussion or questions on these? All in favor? 7-0. Okay. Next up are business and operations resolutions. There are 8 of these. The section contains 2425215 through 2425222. Okay to take as a block? Mike, you have a discussion or question?
We can take them as a block.
Okay, good. All right. May I get a motion, please? Katie, second, Jim Smith. Does anyone have any discussion or questions on
I do
these?
have just
Go for it, Mike.
2 questions. For 221 and 222, is there anticipated schedule for that work?
For 221, Mike, you said?
Yes, and 222.
And 222, sure, for the work, yes. What was the question?
Is there anticipated schedule for that work?
Oh, is there a schedule for the work?
Yes, the plan is to begin work inside of early June.
Early June?
Do you know what the duration is?
Again, it is going to be, as previous repairs are, weather dependent. So hopefully they say a 2 to 4 week window in order to complete all of the scheduled repairs.
Thank you. I'm assuming all the courts will be out of commission during that time, so I guess that we
Yes, sir.
start putting signage up or letting the community know that the courts are out of use.
Yes, sir.
So it's probably between 4 and 6 weeks.
Between 2 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
That's our planned repair window.
Any other discussion or questions on these? Okay. All in favor? 7-0. Next up is our personnel. May I get a motion, please? Katie, second, Megan. Any discussion or question on personnel? All in favor? 7-0. Okay. Any other communications, Mr. Curtius? No. Okay. Okay. May I get a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting? Jim Smith, second, Katie. All in favor? 7-0. Thank you, everyone. What a great meeting tonight.